Good day. This is Joe Sonona with Sonona Speaks Seminars, and this is Coffee Talk with the listing pros in real estate. And my guest this week is Lowell Ackerman from Daniel Gale Sotheby International Realty. How are you, Lowell? I almost called you Daniel Gale.
I get that a lot. How are you, Joe? Thank you for having me.
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great. I'm doing great.
So tell the audience a little bit about yourself and how long you've been a realtor and what makes you a listing pro?
So this is actually going to be in July, my ninth year in real estate. I got my license right out of high school. So after high school, my senior year, from February until my graduation, I went right from getting out of high school to going to the American Real Estate School, taking the course. I did the 2.5-month, twice a week course. And it was really something that just fell into my hands. We had a family friend that was with Coldwell Banker, and he said, why don't you try out real estate? Coming out of high school, I wasn't sure what I really wanted to do. So he, suggested I get my license and really took me under his wing. And, it's something that was kind of like a domino effect where I just had one deal, and then from there it just went on to 2 to 3 to 4. So it's something that just kind of, I say, happened by accident.
Very nice. That's one thing we have in common already. We both went to the same school for licensing.
Yep. They were.
Only mine was 31 years ago. And then I went to the same school to become a broker. Isn't that crazy?
I just got my broker's license. I took that through LIBOR, actually, for the 2 weeks.
Congratulations.
Thank you. That was as of November, I officially got my broker's license.
Oh, that's awesome. Congrats. That's a big feat and a big challenge for a lot of people, to get their broker's license. And it's very prestigious to be an associate broker.
Thank
you. Really is. So
every step of real estate, there's some milestone, and step one is just taking the salesperson's course and joining a company. And then, 9 years later, I feel that's one of my biggest achievements.
So you're in it. You're in it to win it now. There's no turning back. This is your career.
I'm stuck in it. I'm locked in it.
So let me ask you what I ask a lot of guests on the show. This is a listing show, and this is a teaching tool also for agents out there, new and seasoned agents. But what is your secret sauce to listing real estate?
So without spilling a lot of sauce,
you can if you want to. Don't be shy, Lowell. This is it. This is selling your secrets to the world.
The secret to the sauce, I think, is being a friend to the client and showing them, for example, with going on a listing appointment, going in and being honest, but going in the beginning as almost a friend, and like you just walk in the listing appointment, ask them about themselves, and then try and find a way to connect, as opposed to just taking a tour of the house and then just saying, okay, here's my number. You want to find a way to connect with that potential client and have them feel comfortable with you. So I think the secret is learning how to adapt to each person that you meet with, and having them gain your trust and know that you're going to be an advocate for them, and what makes you stand out among 3 or 4 other brokers that they're going to be interviewing.
Do you ever find that it's more of a challenge than it is something that comes so easily to you? I mean, you're a really nice gentleman, and full disclosure, to the audience, we know each other. And, when we first met through the Long Island Board of Realtors, we just instantly, like it was meeting an old friend for the first time.
Exactly.
Is that how you model it with your listings?
I do. I feel like that's been my biggest success, that, and also a lot of the listings I take on are by referral or people that contact me. I'm not really one to go and just knock on a door or do solicitation. And if I do some sort of mailer to, have, to put out that I just sold or just listed something, I get the calls direct. So it's people that reach out to me. So it's my job to show my value to them. They reached out to me. So it's really what am I going to bring to the table? So, like I said, most of my business is at this point by referral, and any new businesses, a lot of people that reach out to me directly or people that I've met at open houses that reach out to me. I met you a year ago. I met you 6 months ago. I remember you gave me your card. You were great. I would love to meet with you. We're thinking about putting our house up for sale. So there's a lot of ways to connect the dots.
That's awesome. And do you use any special marketing techniques for your listings? Do you do anything that stands you out or puts you out there amongst the rest of our colleagues?
So when I go on a listing appointment, first we get to know each other, and then when we get down to the business portion of how are you going to market the home, every home to me is like a menu at it's going to be like a Michelin star presentation of how the home is going to be presented. So I give them the Michelin star menu of what is going to be done to market the home. And with that, I like to include a daytime and twilight shot of the house. I always like to make the signature picture a twilight shot because it makes it stand out among many other houses just on the internet off the bat. I always do a 2 to 3 minute property and interior video. I'm very big into Matterport to do a digital online walkthrough, the Zillow 3D tour, and get it all over the social media platforms. And it's very important to, I think, utilize all aspects of marketing, especially online, because everyone's looking online now. And you have one chance to make a great first impression. So I always believe in, you have to make that first impression stand out. And, if it's available and I could do it, I'm going to do it.
Do you find that when you use a system like Matterport or interior video, do you find that you'll get a buyer for that house a lot faster than let's just put it on multiple listing and do some passive marketing?
So during in August, I wouldn't say it's August, September, not the peak of COVID, but when a lot of real estate went digital, I got a call from a family friend in Lloyd Harbor who had been toying for about a year to put their house up for sale, and the time had come, so we decided to put the home up. And within the first 2 days on the market, I had 3 offers, and one of which was from a person who had saw it in Manhattan through the Matterport tour that I had done. And they had toured the home online, and they said they had lost out on 2 similar homes in a bidding war, and they really weren't wasting their time going out because of, August, September, not much inventory, and they really just kind of wanted to put on hold. And when the home came up, they saw my, walkthrough of the home, and they said, wow, this is really what we're looking for. So I actually got an offer on the home, one of the 3 offers, from someone that saw the tour online and just did a virtual walkthrough and gave an offer right on spot from it.
That's great. That's awesome. So let me ask you, if you had to give any advice to young people coming into this business or anybody coming into this business, what advice would you offer them?
I would say, well, first of all, once you get that pass on the Department of State that says you passed your, exam, you should go out and celebrate off the bat, because that, as we said before, that's a milestone and an achievement in itself that you completed step 1. And I think step 1 in this business is just getting your license. And that to me is the hardest part. And I feel like a lot of people I speak to that are debating on getting into the business say, I just have to take the course, something's holding me back. I don't know. So the fact that you accomplished that off the bat, I think is, it's incredible. I think from there, you want to do your research on a company that is maybe not just local, could be outside of, where you live, but a home or a company, I should say, that has market share in the area that you want to be selling in, as well as doing your research on what kind of training that company offers. And, you kind of feel out from there where you think you're going to fit in the best. And from there, work on your sphere of influence. Get in touch with everyone everyone you've met, family, friends, parents from your kids, sports games, everyone. Let them know that you're in real estate. And from there, once you get it out to your family, your friends, you really just get the word out that you made that jump into real estate, whether it be a first career, second career, you want to make friends with people in your office who are going to, in the beginning, hold your hand, give you open houses to do with them or for them, go on listing appointments with them. And when I joined Daniel Gale about 4.5 years ago, I was fortunate enough to know many brokers from, just outside of real estate that kind of took me under their wing and helped me and guided me and took me on those listing appointments, gave me open houses to do, let me shadow them, taking out buyers. So it really helped me build my business from that, one-on-one interaction. I know that, and everyone really thinks, what's life going to be like outside of the classroom, because they're so used to the test world and what we learn in, the real estate school with getting your license. But the real training comes from the one-on-one experience of actually shadowing someone with, who's seasoned in the business for 10, 20 years and has that Rolodex of, buyers and sellers, and has the reputation that, you want to strive to have, and, kind of learn from them. So I think that's really important to just
How many brokers should one interview before they, let's say, settle on the broker that they want or they feel most comfortable? How many do you think it takes to really go through and just get an idea of who's who comparatively?
I think it goes for person to person. I think some people need to interview 2, 3, 4. Some might just go into, the first brokerage and say, I feel like I'm home. And when I joined Daniel Gale, that's the way I felt. I just walked into the interview and I said, wow, I feel like I'm home. And I actually had other interviews set up with multiple, and I'm talking like 4 other companies, and I had canceled them and didn't even want to waste their time because I knew Daniel Gale's where I wanted to be. So you kind of find your niche just from the beginning. Just you get that feeling.
That's awesome. And tell me, what advice would you give to an older agent in the business? You've been in business 9 years now, but for somebody like me who's been in the business 31 years, what advice would you give to an older agent? If you could just say one thing to them about, how to go about doing their business.
I mean, real estate and, life itself changes, day by day. So, what you as an oldie may have taught me, I down the line could be teaching you something, whether it just be how to do an Instagram story. I have, seasoned brokers that say to me, how did you get that little, emoji on your Instagram story? That's so cool. And it's just little things like that you could just teach someone. And, they helped you build your business. So it's in a sense giving back, and you're just giving, just something that you learned on, from them, that you're reciprocating the offer that they gave you in the beginning.
Do you find that because of your age, you're a young man, do you find that because of your age, the older, do you conflict with older agents, or do they pretty much now, 9 years later, you're on an even keel with them, and you work really nicely together with the older ones?
I really pride myself in saying that I have such a great relationship with, I'd say, every broker that I meet, that I work with. Very easy to work with. So, and I have that reputation of, if I have a buyer, it's someone that, whether it be someone I just met or someone that's a family member of mine, regardless, they're, going to be treated like family, and they know that there's such a level of care that comes into it. And when it comes to listing homes, I always take on a listing that I know that I could stand behind and something that I'm proud to represent. And, agents pick up on that. And every home that I list, every home that, I'm showing, there's a level of excitement that, can't you see yourself living here? I could see myself living here. So, it's just the energy that, gets fed off from, you to another agent. So, I'm really happy to say I have such great relationships with so many brokers on the north. I'm sure, everywhere I work. And, it really helps you every day in your business to be able just to have that relationship where, if you had a deal with a broker, a broker and their listing just came up, you're excited to reach out to them and say, I have a buyer for this, can I show this? And, it's relationships. That's all it is.
Oh, predictions for 2021. What do you think? What do you have planned for 2021?
I am very big into, a business plan, having everything in order, but, real estate is very unpredictable and you never know what's going to happen. Someone could contact you tonight and say, "Hey, I want to sell my house." And I feel like over the winter, I got so many people that because of the way the market was in 2020, they want a lifestyle adjustment where, with quarantine, they want to be able to, have a more active life outside. And obviously in New York, you have May, June, July, August, September, where you could really be outside. So I have a lot of people that have reached out to me that are going to be selling their homes that want to either go down south to California, Florida, where they could have a year-round, lifestyle where they could be active. So I have a lot of listings that are going to be coming up in the next couple months. And that's just what I have planned so far. With my business plan, I like to have what I know is coming and then what could be coming. So I kind of
You think there's going to be like a glut of homes again come the spring? Do you think there'll be a seller's market or a buyer's market? Because I'm getting the same thing. I'll wait till the spring. I'm waiting for the spring, and I'm like, there's going to be a lot of homes for sale in the spring.
I think there's going to be a lot of homes for sale, but I also think there's so many buyers right now that are losing out on homes in bidding wars because there's not a lot on the market. So I'm hoping, and I feel like it's going to almost equalize a little bit, and that there's going to be, a little bit of a balance where there's going to be a healthy amount of homes on the market that are going to be able to fulfill the amount of buyers that we're seeing. And I know at some open houses we're seeing 30, 40, 50, 60, upwards of 100 people waiting in line to get into an open house with no inventory. So I'm hoping that, the word of, this home's coming up, this home's
That is incredible. These lines are just, they're incredible to watch. I've been in some of those lines and I'm sitting there freezing in some of those lines.
Yep.
And then by the time you get to the door, the listing agent's ready to listen. I already got about 35,000 offers. And,
yeah, exactly.
I feel bad for the buyers, because they are missing out on a lot of, bidding and fair bidding and,
Exactly.
not fair there's no unfair bidding about it. It's just that everybody's chomping for the same product,
Exactly.
and it's driving up crazy pricing, overpricing. Do you find that in your market area? You're getting 20, 30, even 40,000 overpriced?
I just actually successfully got, clients of mine a home on the North Shore. We're under contract right now, and we are over 100,000 over asking for the home. We were up against 35 offers on the property.
Does that mean that the listing agent underpriced it $100,000, or does that mean that there was a demand for that house?
I feel like listing agents now, and I'm big on going by comps. I feel like it's hard to comp a house in the market right now because we're seeing so many homes that are going for such over ask that it's hard to really comp a home right now. So, with the demand, you kind of just have to put, what you feel is a fair market value out there. And then the market ends up speaking for itself. And if it's worth more, it goes for more. If it's worth what you're asking, you'll get offers, in the range of what you're asking. But every home I sold from, I want to say July till, the end of December had at least 3 offers on them within the first week, I'd say.
It's crazy. It's crazy what's going on. But in all those instances, we have to keep our fiduciary duties to our client. We have to uphold our standards, to our code of ethics. And that's the most important thing that we teach, all of our students coming into the business, all of our agents in the business, and the ones that have been in the business a long time. So that leads me to the next question, and that has to do with the fiduciary duties that we hold dear, the foundations and principles of our business.
Mm-hmm.
If I had to give you a choice, if I know they're all important, but if there was one fiduciary duty that you would choose out of that acronym, old car, obedience, loyalty,
really,
disclosure,
yeah, my real estate
confidentiality,
license.
accountability, reasonable care. Which one would you, Lowell Ackerman, pick and why?
I would say care. And I say that because, if you're dealing with a seller, for example, you're walking into their most precious baby. And that's the way I like to describe it. It's their baby. So they want someone that they know they could trust with their baby. And that comes with them getting that feeling of care. And, with working with a buyer, I like to think of it as you're the doctor delivering that baby. You're delivering that home to them that they so desperately want, but they're a first-time home buyer and they don't know about the multiple situation, how to put their offer in their terms ahead of 10, 15, 20 other offers. So you want to be that doctor to deliver that baby and to give them that sense of, wow, this person really cares for me. And then that builds the trust, which then builds the referrals. So again, it's like a domino effect. One goes to the next and the next and the next. And then with all that obviously comes the honesty, the disclosure, the obedience. So they all feed off of each other. But I think, care is at the top of my list for sure.
Well, this is great. Any last parting words before we close the show?
If you're thinking of getting into the business, it is truly, like I said, something spectacular. And I think real estate is it's fun. That's the way I like to describe it. It's fun. And I don't even think I could have stayed in the business. Even like I said, everything happened by accident if I wasn't having fun. And like I said, just do your research, take the time, figure out where you want to be in this business, have your business plan, have your goals laid out. And if you are able to, just put your mind to it, it's a no-brainer.
Well, you certainly have it in your blood. I can tell because you love this business as much as I love the business. And through our business, we're able to do a lot of things and enjoy life as we know it, right?
Exactly. It's making you make some of the best connections of your life. Some of
the best friends too.
Some of my clients are, we text 2-3 times a week and we're close friends now and you're over their house. So you're doing something so grateful. People, it's, a level of gratitude that, people feel for you, that you help them, which is the biggest decision of their life.
I want to ask you a question. Have you ever been awarded the top 20 under 40 for YPN?
No, I'm actually not even part of that organization, which I know you and I have talked about that this year there's going to be committee.
You got to apply for it because you qualify so much into it. You should really get into it because I would love to see you become a rising star. Mm-hmm. You are a star already, but I think you should really have a rising star award for YPN. And anybody who I've ever said that to on this show has won that award. So I think I'm on track to saying that you, Lowell Ackerman, deserve that award this year if you go and apply for it. Would you promise me to apply for it?
It's a virtual handshake right here.
All right, because I want to see you get it, and I will definitely support that.
Thank you.
You are a really good guy and a really outstanding realtor in the business, and people should know that from me to you.
Thank you, Joe. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Well, this is Joe Sonona, and this has been a really good interview with my friend Lowell Ackerman again for Coffee Talk. And you're my 86th or 87th guest on Coffee Talk so far. So I just wanted to, a long time coming, right, that you should have been here sooner. Thank you very much for being on the show. And thank you for you guys out there for watching Coffee Talk with the Listing Pros in Real Estate. It's Joe Sonona, Sonona Speaks Seminars. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you, Joe.
Bye-bye. Thank you.